haven't seen my kids in months because of this ridiculous blockade at the center.
I knew this old couple, Carl and Ellie. Used to live above the antique shop on Horseshoe. They were like 80 years old. They were still in love. I wonder what happened to them.
Pilgrim, how's New Paris holding up? I have a cousin there.
Watch where you're going. What a day. No frigging way I can do it. 5 years of learning and all for nothing. I just have to get it right this time.
easy?
Alberto needs to see I'm good enough. What's your name, pal?
Basco.
Basco, huh? Haven't seen...
What's the problem?
Hey, aren't you the pilgrim they wanted to hang? Man, you were in luck there. I could use some of that luck. I'm Alberto's apprentice. Not for long, probably. It's the third time I'm taking a shot at this test. If I fail again, Craftmaster Alberto's gonna kick me out.
Hey, what's a craftmaster?
You're not from around here, right? Craftmasters are people who invent new technology, design innovations, all sorts of gadgets that might help in combat. Alberto's the Grand Master around here. Like I said, I'm his apprentice. People laugh at him, that he's slow and not very eloquent, but he's a real friggin' genius.
What's this test about?
I have to design something useful for the citizens. I already invented underwater reading glasses for Alberto, then a retractable dog leash, but he kept jamming. And besides, we have no dogs here. All my ideas are worthless. Now is my last chance to prove that I am not worthless. So I spent the last several weeks walking around the bazaar and thinking hard. And then, I hit it. Our goats. They're kept in cages because they eat crops. But life in cages makes them sad, and they give less milk. So I came up with the idea of a fence, energized with just a tiny bit of voltage. That would keep the goats under control, but let them produce more milk. I called this invention the electric fence.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Stressed goats can give bitter milk.
Seriously? Goats get stressed?
Wouldn't you, if someone electrocuted you and then went for your crotch?
Oh, no. It's only a very small voltage. Won't do more than tickle them.
So, what seems to be the problem with this invention of yours?
I'm missing a few parts, and they're not that easy to get. I'm worried I won't be ready on time. Maybe you could help me. If you find them for me, I'll give you one of my super cool inventions.
Nothing to do with goats, I hope.
Nah, something much more interesting. You'll see. I just need some electric parts. I'll dismantle them for resistors and other useful things. As far as I know, they can be found in two places. One's an old hardware store on Fitzwilliam Place, near the water tower. Alberto says they'll be there for sure. But it's a dark place, full of turned creatures. You have to go there at night.
And the other option?
Whatever's left of military patrols. I know of one place south of Horseshoe. near the old electrical substation. Bandits roam in the area, so it's possible there's nothing left there. In which case you'll have to look for other patrol remains, or take a night trip to the store.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. But I can't promise anything.
I would be very grateful.
Someone's been stealing our water. Nobody's doing anything about it. Such a shame.
You look familiar.
Yeah, the guy who almost got hanged.
Why worry? You're standing here, aren't you?
Excuse me?
Look, we had no choice. If you had turned like we thought you were gonna, it would have been a massacre.
A crowd of people against one infected. Odds were in your favor.
Huh. I see you already got a marker. More time you spend here, more you'll understand. Our rules are strict, but that's how we survive.
Sure.
Find something you like in the bazaar. Psst, you. Got water for sale? I'll pay half a crystal per gallon.
Barney said if we lose control of the water, we'll be royally fucked. And we'll be over.
Barney knows Carl and Sophie won't
And
let
all
that
for
happen.
nothing.
And you seem
I
to be
just
doing just
have to
fine
get it
without
right
water.
this time.
You kidding me?
Needs to see I could-
Hey, Hangman, how's the neck?
Very funny.
Let me tell you something. If I were you, then I'd have wished for them to end me. Would you rather have needless deaths on your conscience?
I wish you didn't hang the innocent here.
Well, it all worked out, didn't it, Pilgrim? You didn't kill anyone, and you're free. Win-win.
Who is Barney?
Everyone knows Barney here.
I don't. Tell me.
I wouldn't bother yourself about Barney. He doesn't like nosy people. Liable to piss him off if he finds out. Hey, you don't want that kind of trouble.
Well, now I definitely want to know more.
Okay, he's Sophie's younger brother. Some say he's crazy, but he's a pillar of the bazaar. The PKs are afraid of him, and they should be. Barney is no one to fuck with.
I keep telling everyone we should be getting ready for winter.
5 years of learning and all for nothing. I just have to get it right this time.
Pilgrim,
Needs to see I'm good enough.
explore streets and building interiors if you want to learn the history of the city.
Hey, you're a pilgrim, aren't you?
That's right. Do you hang people for that, too?
I just wanted to say that I was rooting for you.
Uh-huh. Thanks for standing up for me.
What? But I didn't... Ah, I get it. Sarcasm. Look, it's not that easy to go against the crowd.
Sure.
I know people are scared of pilgrims sometimes, but... Shit. You survived outside the walls. It had to be something.
Been 11 years since the chemical bombings almost killed everyone in the city.
Might have some work for you.
I swear to God.
Aiden, you've traveled through the Outlands. Any other cities still standing?
Demolished. Close up the competition.
Haven't seen my kids in months because of this ridiculous blockade of the center. Hey, I heard Carl talking about water restrictions last night. Know anything about it, Aiden?
You know, they used to call this time of day the golden hour.
Got a gig as a finisher tomorrow.
Don't see what's going
Someone's
about
got to
it.
take care of the biters
But hey.
roaming the streets around the bazaar at dawn. Man, I'm so thirsty.
To be back yesterday, but the merchant's late.
Sorry to hear
talking about you.
Does she miss her aunt?
I guess she needs someone to play with.
You sure do. You work too much.
Sometimes I wake up at night and forget the fall even happened. It's about the only time I smile. Then I see the goddamn UV lights.
Man, I'm so thirsty.
You. Got water for sale? I'll pay half a crystal per gallon.
We keep making more kids, but not more biomarkers. How are we supposed to make that work?
Help you with something? Come on, I'm right.
What the hell is going on in the Central? Since PK's restricted access. Some say the renegades are
5 years of learning and all for nothing. I just have to get it right this time. Alberto needs to see I'm good enough.
Bet you wonder where all the guns went, right? Army seized them after a lunatic killed a bunch of people in March 2024. God knows who's got them now. I've always thought in every ending there's a chance for a new beginning. Now's our chance, buddy.
Stop staring at me.
My aunt says viral spit cures pimples. I'd rather not ask how she knows. You know how I cope with all of this? I have a secret garden up on the rooftops where I grow poppies.
You're having problems.
They're beautiful.
Try planting lupins.
What about vegetables?
There's not enough nitrogen.
Someone's
Yes.
stealing our water, and nobody's doing anything about it. Such a shame.
Think you'll make it to next season?
I'll be fine. It's my wife I'm worried about.
At least yours is alive.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
No wonder. Fall is near.
That explains it.
believe the night runners. Just fairy tales, if you ask me.
Don't stay out too late.
Fuck me. People will always complain. We're alive, and that's what counts.
Looking at all the dead people,
It says here they're missing.
same difference. They never find them anyway.
Yeah, then why the board?
It's been 15 years. Many people disappeared back then. My neighbor lost his 2 kids. But life goes on. Except, nobody has the courage to take those photographs down. But it's hopeless. Since there are no night runners, the search always ends the same.
Those night runners. Tell me about them.
What's there to say? Nearly all of them are dead. When they were around, they were the only ones not afraid to go out at night. They rescued those who didn't manage to get to a shelter. But of the entire group, only a few survived, including Frank, their former commander. Once upon a time, he was great. Now, he drinks himself into a stupor at his place in the Central Loop. Hard to say how much longer he'll be around.
When did all this happen?
A long time ago. Looking at you, you were still a kid yourself. Once upon a time, I came across two of them. Two girls. They were 5 or 6 years old, and it looked like they hadn't eaten for a month.
What were their names?
I don't remember. I threw them some old bread and took off because they were shaking as if they were about to turn. Red eyes, swollen veins. I don't know what they were giving them there. Those psychos from the GRE.
Have you heard of kids who were in the GRE tests?
Huh. And who wasn't in the tests? The young, the old, the blind, the deaf. Everyone came to find a vaccine. Some for cash, others to cheat destiny and not get infected. But that was the devil's bargain of Villador. Walled in with the plague, but given the chance to be the ones who gave the cure to the world. Well, the virus won. The study was eventually discontinued. And the children? Officially, no one tested on children. Human rights and other crap.
And unofficially?
And unofficially. Apparently, some of the kids were taken out of the city. The rest, well, they just scattered around the city, abandoned. If the infected didn't get them, then hunger or darkness did.
Where are all these kids at now?
After all those years, most of them are probably dead. If someone got luckier and is still wandering around, they would probably be in the Central Loop. More peacekeepers there. Easier to survive.
Someone must know more.
Why? The past is the past, and there's no point in dredging it back up. Everyone has their own problems. Here and now, Pilgrim. Everyone fights for themselves.
And all for nothing. I just have to get it right this time. Alberto needs to see I'm good enough.
Aren't you that Pilgrim?
I guess. Sorry. No, not at all.
You know, they used to call this time of day. Sometimes life is so
Butcher's men are high on some weird kind of
overwhelming.
drug.
You're doing someone. At least I have a reason for an apartment.
Enough already. Even a stone.
You're so sweet.
Just because you got holes in your shoes doesn't mean you're poor. If you got no one to lean on, that's when you know you hit rock bottom.
Hey, I heard Paul talking about water restrictions last night.
Don't recognize me? Or are you allergic to making money? Listen, Pilgrim. We can make a killing, you and me. You just need to get me some beets, radishes, parsnips.
There he is. Grab him, Ed. He's a murderer.
What? Julian, Luke's been poisoned. From the water you sold him, Bevan says.
What? But I don't sell water.
Liar. Luke told me he got it from you. Whatever's in it has him ranting and raving now.
You sure he didn't blame me after he started ranting?
I wouldn't call it proof, but he was just trying to rope me into some shady deal.
All I need to know. You're done, Julian.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you have proof?
Of course. The water came in a bottle. Luke got that water in one of your bottles. When I tell Carl about this, you'll hang!
Bevan, wait! I swear, I don't even sell water, damn it!
If you're lying, Julian, you're fucking toast.
Find something you like in the bazaar?
Wait, so then, if you're not selling water, how'd someone get a hold of one of your bottles?
Knowing that shithead Luke, he probably stole it. That would be like him. Even if he did, my water's pure as melted snowflakes.
You sure? How do you store it?
I buy bottled.
There's no way it could become contaminated.
Not a chance. My supplier, Marco, always has clean water.
So, maybe it's revenge.
For what? Everyone loves me. Never had an enemy in my life. Wait a second. Wait. Shit. Except maybe Marco. That bastard. Come to think of it, he's got an axe to grind for me. It was a long time ago. Never mind. Listen. He lives above an old shop on the west end of Villador, on Houndfield Lane. I traded him a few kilos of my finest flour for the water. Prove he poisoned it, and half my flour is yours. Can you do that for me?
I guess I could check it out.
And there's one more thing. I'm a little embarrassed. Hans might also have a bottle of this water.
I thought you weren't selling it.
I'm not, except, well, to Hans, and can you go warn him? He's also on Houndfield, a few buildings down.
Something's fishy about this, Julian. Look, you better be telling the truth, otherwise it'll be hard to help you.
Sometimes I venture out at the street level, just to look at the shops and signs from before the fall. Don't know why, but they fascinate me.
Why are you just standing there?
Man, I'm so thirsty. I keep telling everyone we should be getting ready for winter.
There's a term for what came next. A crisis of faith. And with me, it started long before the epidemic. But when people started to turn into monsters, when city after city was eaten by darkness and poison, I started to wonder, where is God? Is he putting us through a trial? Or has he abandoned us? When Black Monday came, I no longer had any doubts. There is no God. There never was. Because of the THP Genmont bombings, 2 million people lost their lives. The streets carpeted with human corpses. What God would allow that?
You've
He would have
traveled
to
through
be
the Outlands.
infinitely cruel.
Any other cities still standing?
Other so-called men of the cloth offered nonsensical observations. That this was the will of God. Punishment for our wickedness. That Colonel Williams himself served as the hand of God. But that didn't matter anymore. The curtain had been torn off. People lost their faith. Because what were they supposed to believe in? No one wanted a God like that. And in that moment, to my own surprise, I felt free, as if I were a puppet who finally cut the strings that controlled him since birth.
Someone's been
Free
spitting out water,
at
and
last.
nobody's doing anything about it. Such a shame.
I'm recording this for posterity, so they can learn from my mistakes. To warn all who follow about the worst of plagues.
This ridiculous blockade.
And I am not referring to the virus. I was born into a very religious family. My earliest childhood memories? Prayer. Every morning.
5 years of learning and all for nothing. I just have to get it right this time. Alberto needs to see I'm good enough.
Just fairy tales, if you ask me.
Hello.
Sometimes I wake up at night and forget the fall even happened. That's about the only time I smile. But then I see the goddamn UV lights.
Hey there.
I ain't leaving the resort today. The wind's blowing from the east. That's a bad omen.
Moment of peace.
Have you set up your
You have
greenhouse
anything to
yet?
drink?
Not a
I
drop.
hear the butcher's men are
Used to drink
high on
myself.
some kind of weird
I remember
drug.
cleaning out a furniture store last year.
Bumming me out. Didn't some big piece fall on you?
Hey,
If
not
you want
funny.
saltpeter,
That wardrobe
I can
was
sell
heavy,
some too.
man.
Sure.
Just be glad you're
Who'd you get it from?
Someone I ran across. A stranger, but his price was fair.
Old Hank was mugged for a bottle of water yesterday. Things are getting out of control.
Get inside, Aiden. Don't stay out at night. That's when the monsters come out.
Man, I don't want to end up drinking my own pee.
Yeah,
So goddamn.
5 years of learning and all for nothing. I just have to get it right this time. Alberto needs to see I'm good enough.
Maybe. So, how am I doing?
Not too bad. I'd love to meet up with you. Tomorrow works. Really? Mm-hmm. And what did you think? No, nothing.
She's seeing a peacekeeper. Demons are gonna flip.